Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna go over my hopeful June TBR. Now, I know that June is Pride Month, and if I lived in a perfect world and I had all the time in the world, I would read as many queer books as I could in June. However, my entire library is packed in boxes. All I have to read from is my Kobo, and while I can borrow library books, it's going to be easiest for me if I'm just reading books that I already own at this moment, because I have movers coming to my house on June 9th and 10th to finish packing all of my furniture, and they will be taking away all of my furniture on June 11th, and I will be sleeping on an air mattress until I move to Tennessee on the 18th. And then who knows how long it'll take them to bring my furniture to my new house for me. So with that being said, I'm going to focus on reading things I already own on my Kobo and things that I want to read too. I think because of the stress of the move and everything, I'm really going to try to lean into where my mood is taking me as far as books go. Obviously I make content and stuff, so I have to keep that in mind, but I'm also just kind of picking things that are calling to me at this moment. And I don't want to hear any shit in my comments about me not reading queer books, because I am a bisexual. I read queer books all year, all the time. I don't need a month to tell me to read them. Thanks. Anyways, without further ado, let's chat about what I'm reading. The first thing I really want to get to in June is Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. I read the first one earlier this month, or at the end of last month. January, February, March, April, May. No, it was right at the beginning of May. I read the first one at the beginning of May, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I really want to read the second one. I'm highly invested in where this story is going. For those of you who don't know, Dungeon Crawler Carl is a lit RPG, and it follows a man named Carl and his cat, Princess Donut. And basically there's an apocalypse, end of the world situation, but it was orchestrated by aliens. And then aliens take the survivors. Well, they don't take them, but they offer the survivors a chance at playing this alien game show where they go into these dungeons, and it's like a video game in their mind. They have they have a HUD that pops up, and they have, skills and stuff, and they have to go through this dungeon and survive. And it's very a lot of people are describing it as dude bro, and some of the humor is dude bro, I'm not gonna lie, but it's the kind of dude bro that I feel like it's self-aware and it's not taking itself seriously, and it's really just a silly, goofy, good time. If you like video games, you would like this book, I think. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, you would like this book, I think. It's kind of virtual IRL dungeon diving. And yeah, Carl is an interesting character. He's very surface level when you meet him, and then you kind of slowly uncover some kernels of a deeper Carl in there. And I can't tell you anything about Princess Donut, but I just want you to know I love her and I would die for her, and she's probably one of my favorite characters. Although I do really like Carl too. Carl and Donut together also are just really hilarious, and I can't wait to read book 2. I think I talked about this last month also, but I will be reading Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas this month. I didn't get to it last month. I hit my microphone. Sorry if you heard that. But I am just rereading it with a couple of my friends. You all know, I'm sure. I don't need to talk about it. Moving on. I also really want to read Tokyo Ghoul volume 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. That's 5 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul. And the reason for this is it will finish a series. I can do a series TKO vlog for it. And I also am just really craving some manga right now. Moving and just the stress of life and all the shit that my family and I have been dealing with for past 6 weeks. Manga just is calling to me right now, and it's the only one I have available. Actually, that's not true. I have Spy Family Volume 1, but I want to finish one series before I start another one. So, if you don't know, Tokyo Ghoul is about a boy named Ken Kaneki, and he is a college student at the beginning. This is all volume 1. He's a college student, and he goes on a date with a girl. There is a huge, terrible accident. He ends up in the hospital, and he has to get an organ transplant. Turns out they gave him ghoul organs. So he's half human, half ghoul. And it's about him grappling between like wanting to hold on to his humanity and like leaning into the monster side of him and like letting himself get lost in that monstrosity. And there's a lot of nuance in Tokyo Ghoul, but there's also like a lot of gore and like fighting, and I don't know, it's really like the two halves of the things that I like. It's got nuance, it's got this introspection where Kaneki is like trying to like remain human and figure out how to mesh these two halves of himself together, or like does he just like lean one way or the other. Like it's got such a good nuance and such a good like thematic discussion, but at the same time like there's gore, there's blood, there's fighting, everything a girl could want. Another book I'm going to read this month that is a lit RPG is Level Unknown by David Dalglish. Now this is, as far as I can remember from the synopsis, because I don't have it in front of me, this is about somebody who has to keep repeating this like virtual scenario. Like I think they start off like in the regular world like of like this place. I think it's like a sci-fi lit RPG. So I think they're starting off in this place and they go into like a machine and then they have to like play this simulation thing, and apparently they have to play it like over and over and over until they figure out like how to get out of it or whatever. And I don't know, I'm really intrigued. So if you've ever watched Sword Art Online, that was the vibes I got from the synopsis. And the cover, first of all, the cover reminds me so much of a Dark Souls boss, and I love the Souls game. I'm a huge Soulsborne Elden Ring fan. Love those games. They're torture. They're so fucking hard, but I love them so much. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this one. And there may be a little video project coming your way that relates to this one, so keep your eyes peeled. Now, for June, my Black Horror Reading Challenge book is There's No Way I'd Die First by Lisa Springer. This is about a girl named Noelle who loves like slashers. She loves the slasher trope. And I think that she wants to hold like a horror party, like a horror fan party. And she's convinced like she'd be the perfect final girl. She's like, I've watched every horror movie. Like I know all the tropes. I know all the mechanisms. Like I would definitely live. I'm a final girl, right? So she hires this super scary clown to come to the party and like scare people. Yeah. He's killing people, babe. Turns out he's a murderer. He's a murderer. He starts killing people at the party. And that's all I know. Based on the title and that little info that I remember, I'm assuming we're getting the slasher vibes. We're getting the like campy, like horror movie-esque in a book. You know, I'm really excited for it. I think that it'll be a nice change of pace, because I've been reading a lot of fantasy. I read like 99% fantasy, let's be honest. So these like horror books every month for the Black Horror Reading Challenge have been really nice. A nice addition to my regular reading. And I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't know if it's gotten like the best reviews, but like I feel like sometimes people just kind of go into these books expecting too much. You just need to expect to have fun. Have fun and like be silly, goofy, and a little gross and a little gory. That's all you need, right? I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight back in October, and that was so good. When I tell you, I had a top tier reading experience. I read it in the woods. I was by a lake in the water. Yeah, so this one, I expect it to have similar vibes, and that's exactly what I want right now in my life. I want the kitschy, horror, slasher, campy, fun vibes, and I hope Miss Lisa Springer delivers. Now, I did want to strategically plan for myself to have at least one book that I know I'm going to listen to on audio, and I've chosen Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by, oh my god, what is his name? Benjamin Stevenson. So the first book in this series is called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and it's basically this narrator telling the story of his life and all of these like vignettes into this fucking fucked up family and how everyone has killed someone at some point or another, either on purpose, on accident, like manslaughter, or like third degree, you know, like planned out. And I really liked it. I thought it was fun and engaging, and the narrator also breaks the fourth wall. And I don't love that all the time, but for this style of story where it's like kind of like a friend like dishing on their like psycho family to you, like I love that fourth wall break. So I'm really excited for this next installment, and it's a locked room, like train murder mystery. I'm getting like Agatha Christie vibes. I've never read Agatha Christie, but what's that one on the train? Is it one by one? No, that's Ruth Ware. And Then There Were None. Is that the train one? Guys, I don't fucking know. I'm not an Agatha Christie reader, and I'm letting you down. I'm letting you all down. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's giving me Agatha Christie vibes, even though I've never read her. The synopsis says, because I honestly don't remember, when the Australian Mystery Writers Society invited me to their crime writing festival aboard the Gone, the famous train between Darwin and Adelaide, I was hoping for some inspiration for my second book. Fiction this time. I needed a break from real people killing each other. His family. Obviously, that didn't pan out. The program is a who's who of crime writing royalty. A debut writer, me, the forensic science writer. I have my degree in forensic psychology. This is going to be fun. This is going to be so fun. The blockbuster writer, the legal thriller writer, the literary writer, the psychological suspense writer. But when one of us is murdered, the remaining authors quickly turn into 5 detectives. Together, we should know how to solve a crime. Of course, we should also know how to commit one. How can you find a killer when all the suspects know how to get away with murder? Ah, this sounds great. This sounds so fun. I'm here for it. And I believe the 3rd book in this series is like Christmassy. So I figured if I read this one in June, I can read book 3 in December and finish another series, because I think it's only a trilogy. I'm in my finishing series era. Hopefully. Hopefully. Fingers crossed I stick to my word. Now, none of these books are particularly long, I don't think, except possibly Level Unknown. The rest of them are all very short. Carl, I think, is like long, but I know I can read it quick because of how quick I read book 1. So I'm going to attempt to squeeze in some queer books in June, but it'll be dependent on what I have on my Kobo, if I can get things from the library on Overdrive on my Kobo, or if I can get audiobooks on Libby. So, thoughts and prayers. Wish me luck. I have no idea how much of this TBR I will actually be able to accomplish. Again, because all my furniture is getting kidnapped from me on the 9th and the 10th. And then I have to sleep on an air mattress. And I also won't have my computer to like edit videos. I'll be using my husband's laptop because my computer will be packed away. And I will not have a desk. And I will not have a chair. Cue internal panic. I need like an alarm, like someone sound the alarm, because it's going to be a crazy month. However, hopefully, since I'll have nothing else to do, I won't be able to play video games. So hopefully I'll actually just get a lot of reading done, and I'll speed through my TBR, and then I'll be able to beef up the rest of June with some queer books. I know I have some on my TBR. Actually, I will link my Kobo TBR video in the card and down below, because that is the entire digital library that I own on Kobo. And I want you to go point out any of the queer ones on there for me. Let me know. And if you've made it this far, down in the comments, leave a turtle emoji for this cute little turtle necklace I got at the aquarium yesterday. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!